Hey everybody, over the next few weeks we're going to be releasing some videos covering some interesting and relevant topics. The one we're going to start with this week with a series of videos deals with the problem of evil and suffering. Now obviously evil and suffering are a problem if you're enduring those things, but there's an underlying issue. In fact, a lot of skeptics look at us Christians and say, hey, you guys are inconsistent in your faith. In fact, they say there's something called an inconsistent triad. We all know that evil exists, but we Christians believe that God is good, that God is all-powerful, and at the same time, evil does exist. Well, the skeptic looks at that and says you can't have it that way, because if God is really good, he must not be all-powerful, or he would eliminate evil and suffering. And if he's all-powerful, well, he must not be good, because then he could eliminate evil and suffering, but he chooses not to. Therefore, they conclude our God does not exist. Well, maybe you are a skeptic, or maybe not. Maybe you're just a believer wrestling with these very issues yourself. I'm going to be giving you some answers to this over the next few weeks, but let me start right here by pointing out that this is actually something called a logical fallacy. This is known as a false dilemma. Now, a false dilemma is when somebody gives you only two choices when there are obviously more choices to choose from. For example, I might say, hey, if you really love me, you'll give me $1 million. And you're going to say, wait, are those my only two choices? If I love you, I give you $1 million, and if I don't give you $1 million, I don't love you? Advertisers use this trick all the time. They say, if you buy our product, you'll no longer be miserable, and if you don't buy it, you will. Hold on, those are my only two choices in life, to be miserable or to own your product? And so that is a false dilemma because there are more choices. So when the critic comes along and says, here's one choice, God is good or not and not all powerful, or God is all powerful and not good, therefore God is either these things or he doesn't exist, he's creating this fallacy because he's leaving out a third option. The third option is that God is good, God is all powerful, and God has good reasons for evil and suffering that we don't understand. We're going to talk about those in coming videos. In fact, next week I'm going to be talking about why evil and suffering exist. And after that, I'm going to be talking about why God allows evil and suffering. And then the final video will deal with our response to evil and suffering in the world. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.